guys, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball, your Pure Rugby League. As you guys know here, I'm trying to do something special here, creating more awareness of NRLSA, so South Australian Rugby League. And joining me here today is Peri here, but in saying that, I won't introduce him. I'll let you introduce yourself. How have you been and what's been happening? And thank you again for giving me your time.
No, that's okay. Thank you for the reach out. My name's Peri Waaka. I'm the club president of the Western District's Rugby League Club, or known as the Warriors.
Awesome, as yeah, that's right, the Western Warriors. And I suppose before we sort of get into stuff as well, give us a bit of a background on yourself and which team do you support in the NRL?
Well, I'm a huge Bronco fan. Been involved in rugby league in SA for going into 5 years now. Originally from the Gold Coast, moved down to SA from the Gold Coast. Originally from New Zealand, but the passion's always been footy, rugby league, and I just love to see it grow here in SA, and the club's really thriving at the moment. So, footy in general is thriving at the moment in SA, I think.
Awesome, as and ladies and gentlemen, as well, if you can see below you there on the screen, follow the Western Warriors on Facebook as well as Instagram there, and I'll send you guys the link as well, so you guys are not lost as to where to find them as well. And I suppose I'll just hit you up for the first question as well, Peri. How did you get involved with rugby league in SA? I know you sort of touched on it, but how did it sort of come to fruition when you sort of landed in South Australia?
I just went to a local game. Got asked if I could be a water runner for the Roosters, and from there on it just flourished. It just bringing the ideas from the East Coast down to South Australia, and they asked me to help out. So that's how I started here in SA.
No, that's good. And obviously, for those of you guys who don't know, the Roosters, they're the Central District Roosters, which are, I suppose they're in the Elizabeth area, I guess, right? There or thereabouts anyway. Can you tell us a bit about the history? Can you tell us a bit about the history of the Western Warriors, the rugby league club?
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about it. I suppose we got our very original club captain who knows a bit more, Shane Franklin. I believe the Warriors are actually a combination of the Henley Beach Raiders, the Cougars, and the Panthers. They're a combination of those three clubs. I think one merged into another, then they merged again, and then about 4 or 5 years ago, they merged and become the Western Warriors. So they have been around a while, but I think it all started. I could be wrong. Could have started with the Raiders or Panthers or Cougars. I'm not sure which is the original side.
Gotcha. Yeah. Look, when I was playing a bit of league through the high school league through the NRLSA program, this was probably going back around 2010, 2009. I do recall a club called the Henley Raiders, and I suppose as quick as they came, they sort of left as well, and I was sort of wondering where they could have gone, and there you go. So as you told me that just, I didn't even know that, so there you go. So it is a combination of those. So I didn't even know what up to the Raiders, so there you go. Yep, sweet.
Well, there is still a couple boys running around from the Henley Beach Raiders. You've got Huddy Tumai. A couple of years ago, we had Carl Edgar still running around. So, there's still a few old Raider boys around. So, yeah.
Gotcha. I'm not too sure if you were familiar with the high school sort of stuff that the NRLSA used to, South Australian Rugby League used to actually provide. But I used to go to Fremont High School, and we used to sort of challenge schools from Unley. And I think one of the other schools too was, oh goodness me, the name slips you right now. It shouldn't. It was a school down south. Oh, goodness me. Sorry, the name escapes me, but it was a really good school. They used to get some, I guess, students coming from the east side of Australia as well. And I think some Kiwis as well used to play for them as well. If the name pops up to me, I'll let you know. But anyway, the point is we first those guys, I think 2009 and 10, in like a really good grand final we had. Thankfully, we won. But apparently, it was a bit messy at the end there because of, I suppose, schoolboys and getting to rough and tumble and stuff like that. But we did win the game. But, that was good. It was awesome. Can I ask another question as well? Why is rugby league important to your community and to South Australia?
Oh, I think why it's important, it brings families together. Us at the Warriors, we try and provide a very safe, happy environment at our training sessions. With the kids running around outside, mums and dads can sit in the club rooms and they know their kids are going to be safe with our coaches out there. It's just providing a safe environment. I think why it is important in SA, it's just putting us on the map. I only just recently got back from Brisbane, was over there for a bit, and I was wearing one of my SA shirts over there, and someone looked at me in the shops and goes, "Really? They still got league down there? Haven't heard of it." That I can't remember when the Rams were last played their game, but I think it's just recognition through the NRL. It's very important, and I know there's a big drive at the moment to bring back a team in the NRL for the Rams, but I'll leave my opinions there with that one, being an old Bears supporter. So, but I think it is important for the state just to get NRL or rugby league recognised, especially at grassroots level.
Okay, yeah, no, I understand. In saying that though, Peri, unfortunately for you, you're going to have to bring your opinion because I've got a few questions down to your opinion on bringing back a team to SA. So I'm all for it. There's no right or wrong answer in my opinion. Ultimately, it either happens or it doesn't, I suppose. What development have you seen over your time during your tenure at the Western Warriors?
I think pathways. I think that's huge. There's been a couple of players from the Bulldogs that gone interstate, especially in the women's program. We've got one young guy, Josh Jansen, who's currently playing at Wynnum Manly now. I'm going to be lost without him this year. I think pathways has been the biggest growth that I've seen and heard of. We've got young Daniel Bowe at the moment who's over with the Melbourne Storm. He had a very good season this year in the SG Ball. So they've asked for him to stay over there to keep playing over there. So we've released him at the Warriors for him to go over. So, pathways is the biggest growth I've seen. And I think if we can keep building and putting our name out there, that we do have league down here in SA, we might get some of these clubs coming down looking at our players. We can send video footage to these clubs and make them come down here to have a look. I think our pathways has grown in the last 5 years.
Yeah, well, look, it is sounding really positive though, from what I'm seeing, and it can only get better, which is good. And obviously, again, makes a case for the importance of rugby league in South Australia, which is really good to see here. Do you guys have a NRLSAW team, women's team?
Oh, yes, we do. We've had one for the last 3 years. Our women's side this year combined with the Dogs, with South Adelaide Bulldogs. I think they ended up calling themselves the War Dogs. I think our women's programs is slowly growing. And we'll just, and we'll continue to grow, I think. Kelso and the staff here at SA NRL, they provide a great product for the women. And then the chance to head off to nationals, off to the women's nationals comp, it's huge. It's huge for our ladies to go away on that trip. Again,
sort of touching back on it, like prior, that is really important, and it is good to see. Obviously, the men, but as well as the women as well. Getting those experiences, getting those opportunities. Again, trying to grow the game, and obviously, again, having the females join as well, which is really good to see. All right, Peri. Here's the real business, the meat of it, if you will. So obviously, we have an upcoming NRLSA season, the men's team. What are your thoughts heading into the season, Peri?
Oh, there's a lot of chatter getting around all the clubs. everyone's very, very excited about this year. I think it's an open comp. Yes, I know we've been there for the last 3-4 years. So have the Eels. The Eels will probably be strong this year. I'm hearing chats that the Roosters have grown. The Central District Roosters have recruited very well. I think I'll be happy to make the top 4 by the sounds of things. With the 16 comps, so it'll be very interesting. Probably round 1, everyone will dust off the cobwebs. Round 2, I think by round 3, you'll know who the standout clubs will be. But I'm hoping to be in that round 3 category, the standout club. But the Swans are recruited very well. So is the Bulldogs. All clubs have recruited well, and then with the 16 coming, the brothers, I can't remember their proper name. Full of Papua New Guineans, all love to play football. They love to run and hit hard. So I think if they turn up every week, there'll be a few sore bodies on a Monday morning. Honestly, I'm glad I'm retired with these boys entering the comp.
Look, Peri, I appreciate your humbleness here, but for any of the viewers here who don't know Peri, can you please remind us how many championships have you guys won, please?
Only 3. Only 3.
Yeah. And were those 3 back to back, or were they in different years?
They were back to back, and as I said, we'd love to be in that part of the top. Would by round 3, we'd love to be that standout club. But we have lost a few players this year compared to the last 3 years, and we've had a few retirements. So as everyone always guns for the Premier side. The team that won it last year, everyone loves to knock them off. Last year was very hard. I thought the Eels were very great. They played all year, good footy all year. Even the Swans, looking at last year, they hurt us in the semi-final. In the first 20 minutes of that game, I didn't think would actually walk out with the side. And in the second half, they played tough, hard country footy. And, our boys were hurting after that game, and we only had a turnaround of 7 days to get ready for the grand final after that semi-final. But so honestly, I think this year it's going to be an open comp. It'll be you got to turn up on the day to win it, to get those 2 points.
Yeah, that's it, absolutely. And again, the Swans, for those of you guys who don't know, they come from Murray Bridge, and I've been to Murray Bridge briefly, and it's a good town there as well. And hearty as players, I'm sure. So again, I'm sure they're going to be ready for another rough and tumble season as well. The boys from Murray Bridge. This question here: why should we, or the viewers, why should they support the Western Warriors? Why should they back you guys?
Oh, I suppose if you want to back us on the footy field, where the senior men, they're the type of boys that love to get into the grind. If we're down on points, we'll grind the way slowly but surely. We'll grind the way. If you love that sort of footy, we'll just grind. And to love our club, I think we're very humble on the sidelines. Where we say hello. We're just a happy club. Come trainings, we go out, we watch our juniors. Everyone's always smiling. Very family orientated. And very respectful on and off the field.
Yeah, look, absolutely. And I can vouch for that as well, ladies and gentlemen. Even Peri himself on Instagram as well has been very courteous, and we'll be going back and forth as well. Exactly, I suppose just a testament to you, but also the culture that is there at the Western Warriors. So again, ladies and gentlemen, that is why you should back them as well. They're definitely a good club, good family club, and also a good club as well. Good, positive morals, and yeah, no, it's beautiful to see. All right, Peri, I warned you though, sort of pre-warned you. Your views on why Adelaide should have an NRL team, or maybe in your case, or maybe in your case, you might differ. What are your thoughts?
Oh, look, you know, expansion of the NRL is great in general. As I said earlier, you know, growing up, I was a Bears fan, and the Bears were an original club from when it first kicked off back in, I think, 1906. I could be wrong. 1906, 1908, somewhere around there. They were the original. I followed the Bears as I was growing up. But in saying that, you know, if they wanted to make it a national competition, Sydney's got enough teams. Queensland now with the Finns, with the Dolphins, you know, they've got 4 teams up in Queensland now. So I think an expansion, if they wanted to make it a national comp, you know, I think a team in Adelaide would go off. You know, the people down here in Adelaide, they love their sport, a bit like Melbourne. You know, they'll go to any sport, and you know, I can see the Adelaide Oval, you know, just almost, well, probably not a sellout. We'll probably get crowds very similar to what Brisbane would get, you know, because you know the Adelaide people just love their footy. They love any sport. You look at cricket, soccer, well, you know, look at the Crows and the Power. You know, they get sellout crowds, but I think it'll be good, and it'll be even better for us in clubland at grassroots footy to have an NRL side, because that means our clubs will grow having that side here. You know, just the amount of exposure NRL will get, and with our clubs, you know, we don't get many NRL stars down here in South Australia to pop up, have a look. Like I went to go watch my old club, Southport Tigers. They play in the Gold Coast competition. They were playing local rivals, the Burleigh Bears, and you know, you had Pat Carrigan and Jordan Rickey just walking through the gates, just rocked up to watch a bit of grassroots footy, and we don't get that down here. I think with an NRL side here, our grassroots footy will flourish. You know, our junior bases will grow dramatically. Our senior footy, you know, not saying that it's not bad, but our senior footy will get a lot better, and we'll get more participation. So I think, yes, Adelaide, it'll do Adelaide the world of good. But, mate, I'll say it, and I'll say it now, bring back the Bears.
Yeah, look, I'm hearing. Yeah, look, to be fair with you, I'm hearing a lot about the Bears actually as well. But I'm hearing them in regards to WA, in the sense that I'm hearing that they might implement the Bears, their history and stuff, but just plant them in WA. And I suppose while we're on that, what are your thoughts on that? Do you like that idea? Do you not like that idea? Being a staunch Bears fan yourself.
No, as I said, you know, Sydney's got enough teams. If WA can carry on the history of the Bears, it'll be great to see the red and black running around again. You know, WA, I suppose, deserves a team just like us. But is it too far to travel? It's a long way to travel for NRL clubs. You know, they go. To me, I'd probably look at the costings of flights, whether they've got to deal with someone, I don't know. But, you know, it's got to be a national comp. So, you know, if we don't get the bid this time, hopefully we get the bid next time. You know, and we just grow our sport that we love to play and enjoy watching.
Yeah, no, totally agree with you, Peri. I appreciate the answer there. And I suppose just before we go as well, just last question. What are your thoughts on the Broncos? And are you pleased with the way they're sort of playing? And who wins this game here against Manly over at Magic Round? Manly or the Broncos?
Mate, you know, the Bunnies gave us a bit of a touch-up last week. I think the Broncos are a lot different this year. They're playing more attacking style footy. To be honest, I wasn't a fan of Reece Walsh, but since he's come back from the Warriors, from your beloved Warriors, he's been playing great footy, and Kevy's doing a great job at the moment. So, look, I think if Turbo's out, I think the Broncos will win quite easy. If Turbo's back, I haven't seen the team lists yet, but, mate, I think it'll be a Bronco win anyway. They're at home. You know, it's Magic Round. The crowd, you know, that stadium goes off. Origin, you know, any game, you know, Suncorp's a good place to watch footy. It goes off. So, and I know the Broncos love playing at home.
Yeah.
So it'll be a Bronco win.
I agree with you as well. And I'm definitely looking forward to going to Brisbane as well. I've got a flight on Thursday, 6 a.m., so I'm going to get there. Look,
right.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited. I went there last year and I absolutely had a blast. It was the first time I actually set foot in Queensland was actually for the Magic Round last year, and I fell in love with Brisbane just like that. So it was actually really good. Peri, just quickly before we go as well, any sort of last words, any closing words before we sort of close? And just for those of you as well who are watching, I'm actually going to be diving into the NRLSA season this year. Give you guys hopefully the results, some players, and sort of trying to get you guys, I suppose, walking alongside this awesome competition coming up here very soon in SA annual competition. So that's the plan anyway. But any last words, Peri, before we go?
Oh, look, I think just for the general public, if you've got nothing to do on a Saturday, we've actually got Friday night footy coming back as well this year. That's going to be huge, Friday night footy. But if you've got nothing on, you know, and you want to try, you know, and you want your kids to try a new sport, or you want to give new sport a go besides the other codes that you have played, just come out, have a look, see what we're all about, and look, come out and enjoy some local rugby league. That's all I've got to say.
Awesome, as you heard that, ladies and gentlemen. Please, if you have the time, go and see what the Western Warriors are about. But again, thank you, Peri, for your time. Appreciate it. And ladies and gentlemen, we all know that Peri knows how to hold the ball. Take it easy. See you.